compliment on African leaders that have them voting now with Israel and literally doing Israel's bidding. But let me ask you this. To what extent is Africa then in the crosshairs of what looks like is shaping up to be World War III? First of all, do you agree that World War III seems to be on our doorstep?
Okay. It's a very difficult question to answer because sometimes you can't even predict these superpowers up there.
Yes.
But I don't see it as World War III. I see it as unfinished business of the Cold War. I think this is a continuation of the Cold War. I think the Russians or the Soviet Union trusted the Americans under Gorbachev and Ronald Reagan. You know, under Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev, they signed a lot of agreements to get rid of nuclear weapons and some of biological weapons, even some of the conventional weapons. They signed a lot of agreements to get rid of it.
Yes.
And Americans really played the Russians. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, they decided to walk out of all the agreements and they started producing more nuclear weapons and more conventional weapons. So I think the Russians feel like they are played or the Americans played them. So I think we are back to the same thing. I think this is the continuation of the Cold War. This is the unfinished business of the Cold War. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a war between the Soviet Union, which is now modern-day Russia. I know the Soviet Union don't exist again, but we all agree that the modern-day Soviet Union is the Russians. And we all know that America is still America. So they are still fighting. It's true proxy wars.
Yes.
Now, if you look at all the war around the world, America is involved, Russia is involved, right? In World War, it was different, but this is the Cold War. This is the Cold War tactics.
So you're seeing Russia? You're seeing Russia involved in all the wars in the way that America is involved?
Yes, somehow, because wherever America is oppressing the people, somehow Russia has become a redeemer. Russia is helping them one way or the other.
Yes,
right. I think the Russians are also in for their own interest. They want to collapse the American economy. That is what it was all about. The Cold War was all about defeating, the West wanted to defeat the East. The East wanted to defeat America. So it's the same strategy here. And you can't defeat America without helping the third world countries. Because the West built their world on the suffering of third world countries. If you check the whole world, all the third world countries suffering.
Yes.
Check every third world country, the Western America is benefiting from them. So in order to collapse the Western American economies, you have to help the third world countries to fight against them and become dependent. So I think the Russians are also in for their own benefit. But that's it. It is what it is. That's a fact.
And America also... America fighting for its life in terms of protecting its economy, protecting its dollar, because obviously it's going in the other direction. What's your thinking on China's presence and role in the region, in Djibouti and the continent of Africa?
You see, I always say nobody is an angel. Everybody is in for their interest. That is the fact. But in geopolitics, we call something lesser evil.
Yes.
Nobody is good. Nobody is in for your interest. Everybody is in for his interest. But you always have to choose the lesser evil. Now, in Djibouti, though everybody built military bases in Djibouti, but nobody actually helped Djibouti. The only people that came in and helped Djibouti was the Chinese. That is a fact. African Union did nothing about Djibouti crisis.
Yes.
Djibouti is one of the poorest countries on earth here. How on earth did we allow the Chinese to come in and support Djibouti when we are 1.2 or 1.3 billion people on this continent? Yet we couldn't help a small country like Djibouti.
And we say
sometimes I don't blame the countries who work with China. I blame our leaders in African Union. They are basically doing nothing.
Right, and one of the things that we say in this space all the time is how to leverage that China, that Africa relationship, or that Jamaica Africa relationship. Our leaders failed us in that because China was going to go out anyway. This is China. Yes. This is what they're doing now. So it is how we leverage that. And for us on the island in Jamaica, we failed miserably. I know that continental Africa, a similar thing happened, but maybe Ethiopia has found a way. I am not so sure. I have to look at Ethiopia again. But your own thinking.
Okay. I think black people all around the world, I think we should come together. I think that is the way forward. The Chinese don't look like us. There is no way that a Chinese man will ever come here and do everything for the black man. But I think a Jamaican would do. I think somebody from Trinidad would do. Because you just look like us.
Yes.
So black people are rich. Sometimes we make it look like black people are not rich in this world. We have rich black people. But they are not investing back in the continent. They are not investing in black communities. That is the tragedy of Africa and we the black community. Look at the Israelis.
Yes.
The Israelis invest everything back to Israel. Israel was born just in 1947, sorry. But look at Israel today. They control basically everything. I think we can equally do the same thing. Yes.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. And I want to continue our conversation, if you don't mind, because we started very, very late this morning. So we want to pick up, if you're available next week, Sunday, we'll pick up, or any other Sunday in the month of February, we'll pick up with you. Hopefully next week. Stand by. we'll pick up with you.
No problem.
Once again,
I want to apologize to you people because of the time difference. In fact, I look at the time and I thought maybe because of the time difference.
Yes,
sorry,
I know.
I'm very sorry.
It's probably my bad. It's probably my bad. I probably gave you the wrong time. So next week, hopefully, we'll continue this conversation. In the meantime, our listeners can follow you on TikTok at Timo Media. That's TIMO, Timo Media.
Yes.
And you are, and wherever you are on the social media, you are TIMO Media.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Please go and follow him immediately and just check out the videos. Some of them are very short, but they're concise and they're to the point, talking about geopolitical analysis. This is what we're getting from our brother Al-Hassan Timothy. Thank you so much, my brother. I'll keep in touch with you and we'll talk again on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, please remember to go and check him out on the social media now. Okay, don't let us have to say it twice.